Sonia Nazario has a tremendous amount to offer. From NET Television, executive producer Christine Lesiak, and it's a great honor and pleasure to welcome here to KANEKO, Joe Starita.
I mean, we want you to participate. We're not here with anybody who says they know what the future of journalism is. If they say they do, I'm very suspicious. Maybe I speak for my colleagues, maybe not, but I'm kind of curious to get a real coherent sense of what are your views of the current state of the media and what are your complaints?
And so I still think, even though it's out there on Twitter, it's not, smart people aren't going to believe it if one person says it, but if a media outlet jumps on it, confirms it, writes about it, I think that's a whole different animal. And I think that's why where the media is still very important, even with this technological revolution where people can say what's on their minds.
I still have a very strong preference for lengthy writing, whether it's done as a story, which I certainly enjoy, or whether it's done in a less narrative, perhaps more objective reporting style. I don't like the fact that so much of what is now printed in the local paper is so short, it's so superficial.
But partly it's that I was always told, you know, there's no time, everyone's so busy, everybody's working long hours, and there's just no time to read those long pieces that you want to put out there, Sonia. So keep it short. And you know, a lot of the main story in the LA Times used to run 70 or 80 inches. Now the longest ones are 35, 40 inches. So they've been cut in half in just 2 or 3 years. So
one thing, the media focuses so much on the sensationalism of things and not on the solutions. There are so many people doing good things organizationally and individually, and we rarely ever hear about that. We just hear all the bad news, and I think it anesthetizes people, it discourages them, and it makes them apathetic.
We're in entering a post-journalism world where it's become an either-or proposition. Often in journalism, it's been my experience that the truth is almost always in between.
I think getting right to what you're saying, it seems to me that people are looking for ways and avenues to make sense of their realities, what Durkheim called anomia, time of normlessness, in ways that they did not in the past.
The other thing I've noticed that is changing is that people are not willing to hear these excruciating stories quite the way they were a few years ago. I don't know if it's due to our economy and the fact that people are themselves struggling, but I mean, I don't know if you've noticed this, but if I show a video piece and it's somber and it's full of facts, it's HIV, AIDS, it's Africa, there doesn't seem to be a solution, people want me to be much more hopeful and to put the happy music in there, and then they watch it and they smile and they're willing to take it in, but it doesn't have the hard, cold facts.
So many journalists seem to just talk to each other and tell you the same story, whatever is a current thing.
Yeah, and that is one great part about the internet. I can get online and I can read the newspaper in Buenos Aires in the morning, and so there is that amazing aspect to it, and everyone can have their opinion out there now.
They're going to believe what this talk show host, which they say is where they get their news from, is legitimate. So how do we reel that back?
Is frightening.
Yes.
What people actually say they read. And you know, I mean, it is an emotional topic for journalists because it's profoundly frustrating. And I mean, I think we're searching for answers as much as the public is about how we sort of blend this idea of, you know, it was much easier for journalists to go to Central South America in 1978 than it is now because of economics.
And the fact that cable news, which is an oxymoron, has 24 hours to fill every day, and they have no idea how to fill it.
The fact is, if you look at these videos on the internet, they are not often very good storytelling, so about 3 minutes along, you switch the channel, so to speak. But if they're 10 minutes long and it's a great story and you can't wait to see what's going to happen, people will watch 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
And with that, we want to thank Joe Starita, Sonia Nazario, and Christine Lesiak for this panel discussion. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your